Time for another little mod showcase here today, and we're going to be talking about the Ludus mod for Bannerlord. And what this does is really overhauls, well, at least adds to the Gladiatorial Games portion of the Bannerlord experience. And what's really nice about this mod is it does have some, I guess, modularity in that you can also use it with the Eagle Rising mod. So today I'm going to be showing off this mod. We're going to be going through some of the feature sets in the campaign map, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you're actually in the Gladiatorial Games yourself, and we'll also be discussing how this can actually make its way into Eagle Rising as well. Let's go ahead and show off the Ludus mod for Bannerlord. And if you are enjoying this content, guys, as always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun action. I know it's very exhausting to hear, but let me tell you, it helps out any content creator that you do watch. So let's get started here on this mod. Now, from the campaign map, we're really going to be doing the majority of our management of this mod. And really what the Ludus is a gladiator school. And this will only apply to any of the Empire cities across the map. And essentially what you're going to be doing is creating this school in whichever city you so wish. And that school will then essentially buy slaves, and those slaves will climb the ranks of the gladiator school itself. So we're going to go ahead and click here into Onira, and we're going to zoom out just a little bit. We're going to go to the arena, and then we have this option to buy the Ludus. Now, this depends upon the prosperity of every single city. You want to probably do this in the city with the highest prosperity and one you're probably aligned with, either as a mercenary or a vassal. You do not need to be a mercenary or a vassal to do so. It just kind of makes sure that you're not going to have this thing get lost or whatever you see fit. But with this, you're only allowed one Ludus. So we're going to go ahead and press click there, and you can say you are inside the Ludus. You smell the sweat and blood in the air. Nothing can make you happy like the scent of success. And you get an estimated weekly revenue from these games. Now you then have some options here. You can sell it, kind of cut your losses. You can watch the next game, in which case you can actually watch the gladiatorial fight, and it will play itself out completely without your influence. You just sit in a chair and you watch it unfold. If you have a photo mod or the RTS mod, you can actually get down close and personal and watch it go about. And we'll jump into that a little bit later. You then have the Manage Fighters button here, and this will allow me to manage my own gladiators. Now, you can just drop any prisoners you've got into here, and they will then become your gladiators. And if you do, no matter what tier they are, even if you put a tier 5 guy in here, he will drop down to a tier 1 slave. So let's go ahead and press done. We'll go back to Manage Fighters, and you can see here that he's now a slave. Right-clicking this, we can see the progression for the gladiators, right? They jump up to a novice, so on and so forth, into here, and into there. And if you're using the Eagle Rising mod, these guys all have armor that is specific to the era, Rome, and to obviously the Eagle Rising mod. The mod creator said I didn't want to really break the immersion here of having over-the-top Roman characters in just base Calradia. So you can see that this is just your generic-looking gladiators. And as they do well in combat, they rank up. You can even put them in your army and go and rank them up on the battlefield and put them back into the troop tree here. They'll actually jump in as needed if you so wish. You can even do it to recover them too if they get wounded, whatever you want to do. And then you manage the stocks. So your gladiators will go about the town buying their own food, but they will only buy grain. And if you only let them eat grain, their happiness will go down. We'll go into that in a little second here, but I'm just going to go ahead and just put some of this in here, just so you go. There you go. Have some food, bros. And this will allow them to eat food. They'll stay happy. And this is good because if their happiness drops, they can actually have a peasant revolt, much like the servile wars in, or Spartacus himself, right, of the Roman Empire. So it's a pretty cool little ditty there. It'll spawn an actual army led by one of the slaves. So it is extremely thematic. I love it, especially if you're using that Eagle Rising mod. So keeping them happy is pretty prime. But you also have these other things here, like underground fights, resupply, and slave trade on. So the underground fights will essentially allow your soldiers, your fighters, your gladiators, to fight in underground fights, the Fight Club, I guess you want to call it that. Now, you'll get more money from it, so you'll increase your revenue, but they have a higher likelihood of getting wounded and or even killed. So you kind of have a high risk, high reward here with underground fights. Automatic resupply is the ability for them to go ahead and resupply their stocks. And then with the automatic slave trading, here's the actual description from the Nexus mod. You can also find a link to this in the description if you want to check this out. By default, all Luduses get their slaves from their local slave market. This can be costly or unnecessary if you think you have the correct amount of slaves. Automatic slave trading never surpluses the cap while buying the slaves, but this doesn't mean that you can't. You can opt out and add your prisoners as slaves. So if you don't want your Ludus to constantly be replenishing, you can just do it yourself and opt out of it, so you have a little bit of granularity. So that it's essentially like a workshop that will generate you revenue. And on that base level, it doesn't seem as exciting, but there is more to it. Like I said, of course, you do have the actual slave uprising that can happen, and you can have celebration or celebratorial games, in which case, if one of the armies that you're a faction of, the faction, let's say here, the Southern Empire, if they win some amazing fight or take some big siege, they'll ask you for in Onira if they can have a celebratorial game. They'll offer you money to do so, like 3,400, 3,500 denarii. And if you press yes, then your gladiators are put into that fight. And just like the underground fight, there's a very high risk, high reward here. They can win, earning you even more money. They can just completely get killed off or wounded. So you do have that bit of really fun immersion that comes with it. But here is the big part, and that is the Gladiatorial Games. So let's jump over to another portion of this save. Okay, now jumping ahead, one of my Luduses I pressed watch game. So it'll tell you, hey, we're going to notify you at the end of 7 days and you can watch a gladiatorial fight, like I was saying. We're going to go ahead and press yes. This will load us in. And as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and use this button. I'll pause it for a sec, so I'm using the RTS camera. I think I have invulnerability on. All right, it is enabled so we can just kind of see this unfold here. So unpause it and you can see the games will just kind of play out as they're meant to. Now I have one of my slaves in here doing his deal, trying to win the fight. I only have slaves right now, unfortunately, but anyone who wins these fights, they will progress forward. So you can actually watch these and watch your slaves that you have put in here that have progressed through the ranks. Try to, here I'll take off invulnerability. Try to actually climb up and become better and better in the arena. And it's really, really, really fun to kind of see this immersion of you controlling this gladiator school. So unfortunately, we didn't win that. But you get, nonetheless, you get one portion of the Gladiatorial Games. There is another portion that we're going to jump into next. So outside of the actual gladiatorial games you can watch, you can take part. If you're captured by any Imperial faction, they can actually sell you into slavery at a Ludus, which has happened right now. Now, every day or so, you'll get the option to actually take part in the Ludus itself, and you can simulate it, but you have a chance to actually have your character die. So simulating it is not a great idea. You actually want to join it, and you will join it with reduced health and everything. So we're going to join right now. We're going to zone in, and this is not, it's none too easy. Oh, oh, you can see at the top, it tells me how many, I have to wade through 7 opponents. I need that shield. Where's that shield? Daddy wants that shield. Oh, oh, that would have been brutal. Oh, take that, Contagiaticus. Okay, that's not going to be good. And I mean, and as you win your way through these fights, you get more armor. You can actually kind of earn fame and get slaves that essentially join you. Oh, come on, man. Do not, don't let me win. Oh, yes. So I still have to make it through 5 of these, and he didn't have anything. Oh, but you do. Give me those sweet javelin. So I mean, you can tell it gets pretty. Oh, right over the ear. Drop your shield. Oh. Okay, all right, I deserve that. Right across the chest too. Nice, good slash. But This doesn't mean I'm dead. It means that I've just lost. And I can go ahead and skip that, or I can watch it if I so wish. Now, you do retain some of the money you got from that. You know, you earned some dinars to patch your wounds. And as this comes around, you might escape by now. You might get bought out of this, whatever happens. But if I get myself in a second match, I get to have hopefully better equipment. And as you succeed, you kind of build a rapport, like I said, with the other slaves, and you can have them join you when you leave. So we'll see what happens if on the second one. Yeah, see, I've got a little bit more going for me. I'm probably going to get killed by a javelin right now. Oh! Okay, or the axe in the chest. But it's very fun. It's very challenging. It's like I want to be able to just enter it on this level alone. And I don't know if this coincides with the freelancer mod. I've yet to really check, but if it does, it'd be a great addition. And you can also have this work with the Eagle Rising mod. So when you see these people in the arena, they actually have Roman getup, Roman armor. It looks really, really, really cool. And here we are jumping back into another arena, but this time with the Ludus Eagle Rising mod. Looks like most of these are all just slaves, your basic bottom tier ones, but again, you can see this in the Eagle Rising mod kicking off right now. They're all using Pugios to attack each other, and they're going crazy. I'm going to take off invulnerability. We'll see how that goes. But just wanted to give you guys an idea of how, you know, modular this mod is and how it can slot into a lot of really cool things. Here we go. Here's a real big daddy. Look at this guy coming in. Oh, yeah. Real Roman-like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mod showcase today. I know it's not a very huge and in-depth mod. That one is more for the Eagle Rising mod. Go ahead and take a look at that linked in the upper right corner. But definitely check this out if you want a more expanded gameplay with the gladiators. Still, there's more to be done, right? This is still very much a work in progress, and there is plenty more to go on with this mod. And the mod creators even said on the Nexus page, like, hey, you know, I'm working on a lot of stuff for this. I have a lot in mind, but this is just kind of my base work in progress. So if you want to check the mod out, I'll be linking it in the description as always. Hey, you might even see me playing this in a stream, because who is Spartacus if not the leader of a of a slave gladiator rebellion? But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that fun action. But let me know some other mods that you're really excited about. We are going to be covering also the Game of Thrones mod. I've got that in the works, so you'll be seeing that on the channel very soon as well. But as always, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one, and take care.